All right, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kakwadash. Want to give double honor to the apostles of James that ruleth well, that we learn from. Peace, blessings, salutations to Yakim, to the Aqua tuning in, and to those Israelite foreigners that are scattered, waiting for the return of our Lord Yahushua. That's going to throw down this wicked society, the unrighteousness, and throw down our oppressor, which is the biblical Edomites, which are the so-called white people. This is going to be about Amerigo Vespucci, the so-called discoverer of America. So you so-called Negro, Latino, Hispanic, Native Americans that's calling yourself Americans. This is basically who you're calling yourself. It's great honor. And we come from a great stock of people. I'm gonna get a couple of scriptures real quick before I go into this. This is I'm going to get Deuteronomy 7 and 6. A lot of our people fail to realize that we come from a great nation. We are those people that built up ancient Egypt. We was slaves in Egypt. The Lord, even prior to that, the Lord, we had a great lineage, even from Adam all the way to damn, forgot the lineage right off top. Pretty much going to Noah, then going to our fact said, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, and going to Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, our forefathers. Even prior to ancient Egypt, you got the history of Joseph. Our forefathers made Egypt great. That was one of the reasons why Egypt became great. It's because of our forefathers. And time passed, we got the land of Canaan, which later became our land, Israel. We had our kings. We had righteous kings. We had a lot of wicked kings. We had King Solomon that we have peace for 40 years amongst Israel. But again, we fell, our rebelliousness, our stubbornness, and now that we're here in our oppressor's land. So it's Deuteronomy 7 and 6, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Hey, Salaki, man, we need some new bodies, man. My fucking eyes are terrible. So yeah, we come from a good stock. It's very important to know who you come from, your history. In order for you to move forward, you got to know your past. And evidently, you had a Jake that came up to the camp yesterday. We pretty much, he basically tried to say wine and alcohol was bad. Well, bros can drink. You can drink it in moderation. You don't want to heavily consume it because yes, it can destroy you, but you can consume it. And we're pretty much trying to say you can't drink alcohol. But then we went to a couple of scriptures and we pretty much said and it led to those that, let me see if I can find it. Shit. Bear with me one moment. Damn. Yeah, here it is. Isaiah 29:9. He says, "Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry." It says, "They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink." And what has happened to our people, they have heavily consumed themselves with the philosophies, the doctrines, and these heresies and these lies of the so-called white man, basically just being here in America with their upbringing. So a lot, the filth that they learned from their mothers, the filth that if they knew their fathers, and the filth that they learned from their peers, their fellow neighbors, which are Israelites. And then, if you go to school amongst wherever you go to school at, you learn the filth. We pick up the filth from there. So again, our people are tossed to and fro and drunk, but not off wine. And one thing that our people fail to realize the importance of them knowing their nationality. Again, bear with me. It said Jeremiah 17:4, "And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever." So again, unfortunately, we have lost who we were, lost where we come from, lost all knowledge and wisdom and understanding of pretty much everything before slavery. Our oppressor, the so-called white man, he pretty much taught everything about himself to us. So now we have his spirit. We took his spirit upon him. We envy him. We want to be like him. We love being around him. When this nigga talks, meaning the so-called white man, our people stop what they're doing and they listen. When it's time voting, our people go and vote. So again, going back to the lesson, the point of the lesson, it says this is Amerigo Vespucci. So he was an Italian explorer who had distinction of recognizing the fact that the land discovered by Columbus was not Asia, but a separate continent due to strange circumstances. America was named after him in 1507, when the German cartographer Martin Waldseemüller had read about Vespucci travels to the New World, and now Columbus printed the first map using the name Amerigo for the New World. Just gonna get to the key points. Again, I'm not trying to make this lesson very long, but let me see. One thing, who should be angry is because, as well, all tribes should be angry, but the so-called Native Americans, which was the first inhabitants of this land. How you say? Leave it to Esau. When they came over here, it was just woods and nobody here. But they actually stumbled across people here, and they actually found great civilizations here. It tells you that even in Mexico, Costa Rica, Peru, El Salvador, Guatemala, you had Puerto Rico, you had Dominican Republic, Cuba, Jamaica, and you also had South America, greatly inhabited lands, and you had North America, which we're here now in America, which was already inhabited by so-called Native Americans, and they had pretty much. Matter of fact, take that back. They had America and they had Canada, and great land masses, which was reduced throughout the years. It's a chart out there, a map out there. You go into. It's an old map that shows all their land that they had control of, and due to all the presidents, every president had a hand of taking Gad's lands. So again, a lot of history has been wiped out of all things that happened to the Native Americans. Because they did them dirty. For them to come over here, take their land, and then call their name this land. Damn. The land was already discovered, already inhabited. But then you come over here and be like, yo, I found this. I said this man is a devil. You so-called Native Americans better wake up and repent. And wake up to the fact that you are a Hebrew Israelite. You spoke Hebrew. You wore those fringes with the border of blue. What is it? Numbers 15 and 36. So, there's a lot of history, a lot of things coming out now about so-called Native Americans being the stock of Israel. And a lot of Edomites, they studied y'all. You got James Adair. I think James Thorogood. No, Thomas Thorogood. A lot of people that actually studied and walked amongst and been around the so-called Native Americans, and they wrote books showing you and telling you that those were Israelites. So it says on his first expedition, he was a navigator for Alonso de Ojeda. They left Spain in 1499 and discovered the mouth of the Amazon and Orinoco River in South America. He returned to Spain in 1500. On his second expedition to the New World, he was sailing for Portugal and left in 1501. He mapped the eastern coast of the New World and realized that they were not in Asia, but a totally different, unknown continent. In 1503 or 1504, Amerigo published a pamphlet in Latin under the Latinized name of Amerigo Vespucci, if I'm not mistaken, entitled Mundus Novus. In this pamphlet, he stated his belief that the land reached by Columbus was really a new world. This was contrary to Columbus' continued insistence that he had reached India. Since Columbus was so firmly entrenched in his belief, he did not give these lands a collective name like Columbus. He would give the islands and regions he saw and landed on a name, but he could not rename India or China. So it says, let me see. It's a little, let me see. I don't know if you can see, but this is his pamphlet Amerigo Vespucci made to his journey on 1505 right here. And again, this is a pamphlet. I had this pamphlet for years. I think when I first came in this truth, I think I had this printed out. So I had this for years. So it says, let me see. So it said in 1507, the Institute at Saint Dié in Lorraine decided to reprint the Mundus Novus, the New World pamphlet published by Amerigo. Yeah, Mundus Novus is New World, if I'm not mistaken. They wanted to include a map of the New World and name of the new publication, Cosmographiae Introductio. The person chosen to write the preface of the scholarly work was Martin Walsemouillet, the new and upcoming geographer of the Institute in Latin. He basically wrote, now indeed, these continents, the three older continents, Europe, Africa, and Asia, have been broadly explored, and a fourth continent had been found by Americus Vespucci, as will be shown later. I do not see why anyone should rightly object to calling this continent for the Americas its discoverer a man of intelligence, to wit, Amerige, that is, land of Americas or America. It says, since both Europe and Asia got their names from women. Now, that's something I'm going to look about. But it says his proposed name of Amerige is the Italian name Ameri, with the Greek word for land, G, for the new continent. His second suggestion, America, is the Latin feminine form of Americus. The name used by Amerigo in his Mundus Novus New World publication. says for some unknown reason, when he published the two maps in 1507, he printed the name America on the map of South America, while Muyer later changed his mind on Amerigo Vespucci's credibility. The name of America was omitted from his later maps, but by then it was too late. And again, they kept that name because unfortunately, when you look up the maps, it'll show you South America, North America, Central America. You got North America, North America, Central America, and South America. Canada. No, I'm bugging. I believe they put Canada in the same boat as America. Then you got Central, which is like Mexico and all that. And then you have, if I'm not mistaken, hold on, let me see. Bear with me one moment. What the hell is this? Yeah, when you when you put up America as a map, yeah, it basically shows you the whole Western Hemisphere. Yeah, it pulled up South Canada, United States, Mexico, then it goes down to South America. But I'm trying to find. Bear with me one moment. Trying to actually find the actual title image of it, which states it. Let's go to this one. Well, yeah, it's pretty much showing. When you pull up the Americas, it shows all the top regions of Canada. It shows America. It shows Mexico. It shows the islands, and it shows South America, which is Brazil. You have Argentina. What is Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela, and Colombia. So that is known as the Americas. So again, the 12 tribes, us being so-called Negro, Latinos, Hispanic, Native Americans, us being the stock of Israel, we are Hebrew Israelites. Even though that we were born here, this is known as our captivity. We are here now to the in our captive lands. Let me get that in Baruch 2. Matter of fact, bear with one moment. So, the Baruch 3 and 1. O Lord Almighty, power of Israel, the soul in anguish, the troubled spirit crieth unto thee. Because again, it's not our rest. Slaki. So it says, Spirit crieth unto thee, hear, O Lord, and have mercy, for thou art merciful. Have pity upon us, because we have sinned before thee. For thou endurest forever, and we perish utterly. Why? Because, you know, all the atrocities that this devil does to us. Oh, I forgot. Oh, man, hold on. Salaki. I meant to bring this out, too. The Obadiah 1:6, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? And it's by the prophets. And then we link these up with the scriptures through the Spirit. And, you know, now through the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Rashah, now, you know, all the devastations, the lies, the deceit, the evil, the wickedness of Esau, you know, is pretty much being discovered, and how he did things, and how because one thing he does too, he puts a lot of things in books, which he knows a lot of our people is not going to read. You know, there's so much pain and agony and suffering and doubt, you know, lack of confidence, so much things going on outside, you know, robberies, you know, it's really, you know, bad economics, bad, how you say it, you know, you're 2 seconds for being thrown out because you can't pay rent, etc. So it's kind of hard to really like bear down, but unfortunately through the power of Yahweh Shah, the Lord has put his prophets out there in the highways and the byways to do the reading and take, you know, and how you say, mold and put in constraint this flesh so we can do this for our people. This is real love, you know, rebuking our people, bringing forth this information through the Spirit. So it says, O Lord, Almighty, thou power of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites, and of their children, which have sinned before thee, and not hearken unto the voice of thee their power, for the which cause these plagues cleave unto us, and this is why we're here in the Americas, and scattered as well. Remember not the iniquities of our forefathers, but think upon thy power and thy name now at this time. For thou art the Lord our power, and thee, O Lord, will we praise. And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name, and praise thee in our captivity. For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that sinned before thee. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. Hear, O Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understanding, to understand wisdom. How happened it, Israel, that thou art in thy enemy's land, that thou art waxen old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead. So again, we have been tainted, corrupted by idols and these heathens, and trying to be like these heathens. Again, it's mighty funny, you know, when you look at our people, and they have the same mannerisms as the so-called white man now. All the tribes. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to wrap it up. There's a couple of more videos I want to do through the Spirit, Lord's will. And, you know, Lord's will, you was edified. You know, when you call yourself an American, you're calling yourself by Amerigo Vespucci. And all, you know, all in all, you know, all of this, you know, iconoclasm and whitewashing, so-called whitewashing, and the great discoveries and the science and everything, you know, the dainties, you know, what Esau wants you to believe he's so great, all of that is going to carry over until you taking that mark, that object that Esau wants to put inside you. And all in all, that's going to be to control you completely. And again, if you don't wake up and conform not to this world, and learn your enemy. You gotta learn your enemy. You gotta understand that enemy. You want to control your slaves. You want to sleep well at night. You dumb down your slave, and you put your spirit on them. But Lord's will, use that if I say shalom.